Welcome to Arcade Couch, the best place to chill with friends and get your gaming goodness every Monday. My name's Dawn Blight, and joining me on the couch this week, Ashley Hobley.
Hey, John, excited to be here.
Okay.
Yes, you threw him off. He's totally bottled it.
I'm really excited to be here this week.
Wow, also here, Kieran Munchin.
I'd like to be the first to welcome Ashley Hobley, our evil Sony overlord, into the Arcade Couch for this week, and bow down and welcome him.
Yeah. Okay, let's get the wheels moving. Today on the show, a bunch more teasers about DC game reveals. Halo is delayed and Xbox leaks their trailers. First mention and nothing. All right, we'll continue moving. All right, so firstly, let's get into, I guess, the biggest story of the week, industry-wise, definitely. And it's a doozy. So, in case you don't know, somehow, Epic is chucking a hissy fit at Apple, and Apple's chucking a hissy fit at Epic, and now Epic's trying to sue Apple. Basically, what it boils down to is Epic is not happy about Apple taking 30% of anything on the App Store. So that includes, you buy a game for $5, Apple gets 30%. You buy V-Bucks inside Fortnite, Apple gets 30% of the V-Bucks fund. This is everything. I mean, the same sort of thing. Like, you can subscribe to certain things through the App Store, and it'll actually cost you more because companies put up the price of certain subscriptions to account for the 30% that Apple takes. This is a known thing that Apple does, and it sucks ass. I have no idea why they're doing it. And in that front, let's get it out of the way that yes, Apple can get fucked on that front. Now, Epic is you can very easily fall on the side of, well, they're fighting for gamers' rights, and it's not really what it's two companies fighting over wanting to make heaps of money is what it really was.
Epic's kind of just seemed to have rolled out of bed and just be like, all right, we're fighting everybody today. Because after Apple, a couple hours later, the same thing started happening with Google, and they filed a case against Google as well for the same issues. Even though, Fortnite had in its back pocket a video that it streamed that was direct.
That's the weirdest part. So, and I love the way it's written about in this Kotaku article by Luke Plunkett. So in the article he wrote, he says, in addition to the legal struggles between the two companies, which are essentially built around a disagreement over the fact Apple takes 30% of App Store money and Epic doesn't want to pay that, Epic Games also launched a concentrated public relations campaign built around a parody of a TV ad made by Apple at least 15 to 30 years before most Fortnite players were even born. I don't have the time or emotional bandwidth to delve into just how fucking stupid this video is, enlisting the spirit of resistance to totalitarian government, already diluted by appearing in the advertisement, to get people on side in their quest for some more money. I would, however, like to give a shout out to many people responsible for looking back at the last 10 years of video game relations and deciding that weaponizing a fan base of angry gamers was really healthy and a fun thing to do here. So then they went on about it. Also, it's worth pointing out weird things, and they I saw this on Twitter before and then saw it in the article, which is good because when I saw it on Twitter, I was like, what? Spotify at one stage put out a fucking statement saying that they were siding with Epic, which when I saw that, I again went, the fuck? Like a couple of years ago, Taylor Swift was basically fighting against Spotify for taking too much money. So, and now they're like, yeah, we're the good guys. I'm like, these are all the bad guys. I mean, that's the true answer to any of this. I mean, Apple's the bad guys, Epic's the bad guys, Steam's the bad guys, fuck, Sony's the bad guys. There's good people inside companies. However, when you boil it down to them, all the companies are just people that want to take your money.
Kieran,
so they're all technically the bad guys.
Can you believe that Nicholas Pryor has finally returned to Arcade Couch?
I was just like, wait a minute, what? Companies want to make money? Is this
corporations are evil? Yeah, it's Nicholas Pryor.
Is this
nice to have you back?
Yeah,
I mean
I feel like there's some tinfoil hat shit going on here.
No, I mean that's how it boils down. Like that's how I treat any and all companies. Like I own an iPhone, Apple suck. I own PlayStation, Sony as a corporate company sucks. Sony has heaps of great people working there, but like as a corporate entity, all companies boil down to just people trying to take your money, and they often do really shitty things about it. Sony's done shitty things. Apple's done shitty things. Microsoft's done shitty things. Like, name me a company that hasn't done something at least once, twice, 3, 5 times throughout the last 10 years that you've gone, well, that's a shitty thing. Like, all of them have done it at once. You know, that's the thing. All companies do shitty things. So my point being, the biggest thing that annoys me about this whole story is the weaponizing of gamers as sort of soldiers in a war.
Is
that
it
they
really
shouldn't.
Weaponizing them though?
Yes. Did you watch the ad? Watch the ad? What's it say at the end? It says, "Join our fight, something, 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 hashtag free Fortnite." Hashtag free Fortnite? Hashtag free fucking Fortnite? Are you for real? Let me skip to it. It says, Epic Games has defied the App Store monopoly. In retaliation, Apple is blocking Fortnite from 1 billion devices. Join the fight to stop 2020 from becoming 1984 is what the fucking ad ends with, before coming up with a stupid dicky hashtag saying free Fortnite. They are literally weaponizing people to go on Twitter and yell at Apple to help Epic get money. It is a stupid, in a year of stupid things.
No.
This one's pretty fucking stupid.
I get it. It's stupid. Money, corporations, blah, 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 blah. You know what? This could actually be a positive for smaller creators on the Apple Store, on the app stores.
That is a thing.
That is like, there is legitimate good that comes from this. It's not the reason that Epic is doing this, but there is legitimate good to this.
I mean, it could be.
There could be. There is a could in this whole.
I mean,
we've
seen time and time again, Epic Games has proven to do things that help other creators.
Yeah,
that kind of thing. Introducing the Epic Game Store and making Unreal Engine free.
That's what I was going to say. Like,
pretty much.
let me be clear. I've come on here several times and talked rather positively about Epic because they've done several things I quite like, but this thing I don't like. At the end of the day, that's my point, though. Like, they're going to do some things you like, some things you don't like, because they're fucking companies.
But isn't that everybody?
Yes, but why? That's
also,
my point. Is
the
why
reason this also came up is Fortnite reduced all their prices, except on the Apple and Google Store,
because they're allowing
they were taking the 30%. Yeah.
My whole point is, so even if you take the whole let's imagine, right, at the end of this, Epic wins. So that's
but even then, Epic's already said if Apple reduces the amount of money that it's taking from, it will pass those savings onto the customer, onto the consumer.
Yeah. No,
so it's not like so from it, and we don't know that until, you know what, we don't know until whatever happens. If it comes about, Apple comes out and says, look, we're no longer taking 30%, we're taking like 5 or 10%, which is a pretty reasonable cut. But Epic goes, we're not changing the prices though, we're keeping the same price. That's a shitty move. Like, that's a super shitty move. If all the Epic Game Store and all like the Fortnite V-Bucks and stuff, if everything goes down after this because of the change, that's positive, isn't it? Because technically Epic's not making any more money. They might be making a little bit more because of...
No, there is positives that come out of this, that including, and obviously, if Apple was to agree to the terms and decrease their take, that would help smaller developers for sure, and that would be a huge positive that comes out of this. But my point still remains: it's not for gamers to have any. They shouldn't be involved in the argument, like starting a campaign to rally gamers.
So that's the thing you're upset about.
If that's the thing you're upset about, is the trailer, is that video thing that they released.
It's stupid.
So if they didn't do that, they'd be fine, correct?
They can go argue in court all they want. I don't give a fuck. They're companies.
Okay,
it happens all the time.
Sorry, I was a bit confused where the problem was in this argument.
My problem is that it's an argument. It's an argument. When you boil it down, you can without bringing any of the if it happens, this leads to a positive. Like, if you just want to boil it down to what's happening in the present, it is a huge multi-billion company suing another multi-billion-dollar company. And in the real world, where weird and wacky things don't happen, neither company makes videos or promotional material or so happens to have it ready right as they fucking click sue to rally up gamers to join their side. That was the weirdest part. They had the fucking video ready. What the fuck is wrong with them?
I think you call it smart. They played Apple completely.
It's stupid.
Hey, we're going to do this thing that we know this is what you're going to do. So then we're going to have this ready and we're going to piss you off.
You know how I don't like...
So much of these things is like PR battles.
But then also at the same time...
Epic is looking much better out of PR.
I don't know if you guys saw this. At the same time, I can't remember if it was on Twitch or YouTube or wherever, before the Fortnite videos were playing, there were Apple ads in front of them.
That had to have been a just a funny circumstance.
Hilarious.
Yeah. This is no different to me than like this. Just plays into my thoughts of any time, like as much. For example, most recently, when like they announced Skate 4, and everyone's happy, but then they say, "Oh, this is because of you," or like anytime a developer says that. Basically them getting yelled at on Twitter led to something. And every time we've talked about that stuff, I've said I don't like the precedent that this is kind of setting.
Yes.
I don't like any time that consumers, like all I can let me boil it down to this.
Consumers don't ever ask for anything because if that change happens, you're setting a dangerous precedent.
Let me boil it down the real way. This is legit how I feel about any of this stuff. Let me ask you a legit question, each of you. Were either of you on Twitter, like full on Twitter when Gamergate happened?
No.
And I was. And you know what that was? That is the worst fucking thing I have ever seen happen to people on Twitter. The most disgusting rallied group of entitled baby bullshit motherfuckers sending death threats and horrible things to people. And that's the worst thing I've ever seen happen on the internet. And you know what rallying gamers to go against another company makes me think of? Gamergate. It's going to do it every time because I saw that shit happen. I was checking their fucking all day going, this is horrible. It's a dangerous precedent. I don't like it. Consumers should not be involved in companies squabbling over money. Because you know what happens at the end of the day? Joe Blow gets out on his Twitter tweets all day, fuck you, Apple, fuck you, Apple, fuck you, Apple. And then what's he get if Epic wins? Nothing.
He gets to pay less for V-Bucks.
He gets to pay less for V-Bucks.
But ultimately nothing. He doesn't have a stake in the company.
Sense of fulfillment that he helped.
He has no stake in the company.
Pay for less for V-Bucks.
Gets more time sooner to start leveling his Aquaman costume in Fortnite and getting ready to play as Captain America and the Hulk.
I mean,
it also, but
I will also gets blocked by Mr. Dylan Blight. So
as a serious point to this matter, because other than Ashley to me just trolling, serious point. I don't like where it was my big problem with the whole The Last of Us 2 Part 2 bullshit that happened with everybody complaining about that. When gamers thought, or when people in the world thought that they could write or get a petition made and signed by people that they had the power to make somebody rewrite and remake that game. That's fucking ridiculous. Get over yourselves, you plebeians.
And I've brought it up before. That's because of what happened with BioWare and Mass Effect 3, as far as I'm concerned.
Exactly.
And I've said it again. Did not like the ending of Mass Effect 3. Don't think they should have changed it. Dangerous precedent. Don't do it. Just fucking stick your fucking landing. Imagine if this happened with movies.
Oh, 100%.
Like, people come in,
yeah,
Matrix.
Star Wars movie has ever been asked to be remade. But
that's not my point. Have they ever been remade?
Has anybody ever?
Yes, they've been remade several times.
The only thing, the only thing that's
not the way you're talking about, though.
No,
the only thing that's close to happening is this whole bullshit with the Snyder Cut for Justice League.
Yes, and on that, I'll say this: I'm going to watch it. Obviously, I will. I hope it's good. But again, much like I feel about I could say the same thing for Skate. Gonna play it. Hopefully, it's good. Looking forward to it. Hope the Snyder Cut's good. I'm actually looking forward to it. I don't like how the Snyder Cut came about, though. I can kind of separate. Yeah. If that comes out and I love it, and I'm like, I love this, it's so good, because I actually do hope it's really good. But I can still kind of pull that part apart and go, I don't like how this came to be. I wish this happened a different way, kind of thing. Yeah. So, that's my shout out to Nicholas Pryor. The only person who's never on this fucking podcast when I need someone on this podcast
Soul was here.
have a bit of backbone. Jesus Christ.
What do you mean have a bit of backbone? Fuck right off with that comment.
Just because we don't hate all corporations.
Fucking hell.
On the actual story, I think Epic probably does have a case. Because I believe there are other services that let you pay through a third party that bypasses Apple. Like things like McDonald's and different food apps and that kind of thing where they don't take...
Well, I mean, Sony takes a cut.
Slightly through it, but they don't take a cut. So, I mean, as long as they have an option to...
I was going to say, it's not like they
go to something else.
It's not like they took away the option or anything. They didn't stop you from paying Apple the money. They just gave you the option to pay
They gave you the option not to.
Yeah.
At a cheaper price.
Also, the one other thing before I move on that I think that it's still floating around, I've seen that's misconstrued information, is that Epic never actually took Fortnite off the store for people who have it. So if you still have Fortnite on your phone, you can still play it.
You can
like
still
the
play
servers
it.
are live,
yes, you can still play it
there.
As long as the next app doesn't come through.
Yeah.
It's gonna...
Because once that does, which I think is meant to be in the next week or so.
Yeah.
Next 2 weeks. But apparently every update's been late, so...
Yeah, because I saw lots of people going, well, everyone's saying that Epic's the good guys, but they literally just took the game off millions of people's phones, and I'm like, but they didn't. So they didn't.
Epic didn't do it, and then Apple.
It's going to
it'll
get
be
to
Apple's
the
fault
point.
that they won't be able to update it.
That is an interesting point to bring up. Like in a world where say they lose. And they spit the dummy, and they're like, "Well, that's it. We're taking Fortnite off everything," which I don't think would happen. But I'm saying, in a world where that
what
happened,
they would do is they would create a way for you to play it inside the web browser.
Probably,
yeah, they'll do something to it.
The only time you could bring up, I'm saying, like, if they did in a world where they did spit the GUI and say they're going to delete the game, then people would should get upset, because then it would be like, you've just taken away a game that people have probably spent hundreds of dollars in, and you've just literally flicked it out of there. Like, that is not... That
but
would not
they've got cross progression in that, so I mean they can go to any other platform.
They do, but that's saying that everyone that plays Fortnite Mobile... I would assume that most people playing Fortnite Mobile maybe only have mobile to play it on. Like, I don't...
To switch over to Android, use a
no, it's just different
app store.
Oh, I guess you could use a different... Yeah, that's fair.
Yep.
You can...
So it's only Google.
Google's thing is like, we're taking off the Play Store, but it's still available on Android if you get it some other way. Yeah, it's...
You go to the Amazon store, or I'm sure even Epic directly would have some sort of way to install it on your Android. I would assume.
All right, let's get out of the serious and into the silly. Halo Infinite has been delayed until 2021. Now, just let me at least read the quote. So they wrote in 343 Industries wrote in a blog post announcing it. We've made the difficult decision to shift our release to 2021 to ensure the team has adequate time to deliver a Halo game experience that meets our vision. The decision to shift our release is the result of multiple factors that have contributed to development challenges, including the ongoing COVID-related impacts affecting all of us this year. I want to acknowledge the hard work from our team at 343 Industries, who have remained committed to making a great game and finding solutions to development challenges. Blah, 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 blah. Halo is delayed. Of course, this is a very weird announcement because, in case you've lost track of the timeline, last week, the week before, the multiplayer leaked, and then they suddenly announced that was going to be free to play, and that was weird. And then it was only a week before that they came out and showed the very first gameplay for the first time, which was met with very mixed reception from several people. And you would have thought if they knew they was going to delay it, you would have thought they would have known. If they knew it now, they would have known it 3 weeks ago, and they probably should not have just shown any fucking gameplay.
They couldn't have.
They had to show something.
They had to show it.
If they did, they could have announced at the same time that it was being.
They could have showed
delayed.
less. They could have been a bit more selective as to what they showed.
I think Xbox kind of put themselves in a corner with that one, with like now in July there's going to be a first party showcase, and Halo's going to be there.
They shot themselves in the foot with the bad third party one earlier, so they had to come back and do a bigger one the following one, and they had to show Halo because they haven't got anything else. And it wasn't.
They shot themselves in the foot with a Stinger. I think that's a Halo gun, right? Is that a gun? think no.
The Needler.
Okay, Needle. Yeah, Ash knows. Super fan.
Yeah.
Fakes. He's a secret super fan.
Don't you worry, Kieran. I can see your Halo.
Wow. There we go.
It's not coming any soon.
How are you sad, Karen? What's the?
I've never had a shittier start to my morning. Like, I've never had a shittier start to my day than turning on my phone as I'm waking up to check out what's happened overnight and to see Halo delayed and instantly know that Arcade Couch this week's not going to be fun. Because I'm going to have to watch the smug face of Ashley Hobley the entire time that we talk about it. Look, look, we're at the point where if I wasn't the Xbox fanboy of the Explosion Network, I would not be buying an Xbox on its proposed launch day.
Proposed launch day.
Well, there's rumors that it kind of leaked this week.
I can tie that in
if
we want to tie that in.
Yeah, if you want to go to that, because there was a leak this week.
So early in the week, a bunch of controllers basically got let into the wild, like literally put on store shelves, and people managed to buy. I don't know. So
why did stores
people managed to buy?
Why did they print them?
I don't know. So they managed to have these controllers out, and people managed to buy them. And there was a couple things of note that came from this. Firstly, was the fact that on the side of the box it had Xbox Series X/S. So once again, just added to the 99.9% that we all knew there was going to be an Xbox Series S. And then also, someone found a box which had the the do not open until certain date sort of retailer sticker on it, and it said do not open until November 6th. So that was the date. And then on top of that, to add to the rumors of when release is happening, Xbox did, when they delayed Halo, write in a blog post that confirming that the Xbox Series X would come out in November. So then when you tie coming out in November to the fact that this retailer box said do not open until November 6th, it's pretty safe to assume that maybe the console's coming out on even November 6th or like a week after.
It'll be a couple days after that. It wouldn't be.
There isn't Xbox Series X's in that box.
No, but like that would be.
There's probably like promotional material.
There's promotional material, but they're saying November. Like that'll be that day to open.
That won't be the release date, though.
No, of course not. Of course not. It'll be open it then, so you can start preparing your store for the actual.
I would say
prepare for the release in 2021. Yeah.
Fuck off, Ashley.
That's when pre-orders will open.
No.
I would say it's the 13th, if I was guessing, which is the 6th is a Friday, the 13th is literally a week after a Friday. Like that would.
It's really weird timing, especially with Cyberpunk supposedly coming out. Well, supposed to be coming out November 19th. It is. I
know, dude.
It's odd.
Do we know if that's going to be released?
Don't know. The other date to chuck into this of note is Thursday, the 26th of November, because a couple months ago there was a leaked poster up on the Xbox website that said Xbox Series X coming out this Thanksgiving, and I just quickly Googled when Thanksgiving is because obviously we don't do it, and it's the 26th of November, so that could be another date.
Yeah.
Around there. Either way, we know
I
it's
would
November.
imagine if they're going to do it in November, it would be before that.
I don't know.
So the 13th. So the 13th. Like I was. The week after.
Yeah. It's interesting. I would be interested if that is proposed release date. I would be so interested if this is one of those things where CD Projekt Red is making Cyberpunk for those consoles, but it's just not really said anything yet.
I think from what we gather, because obviously they've said you'll get the free upgrades and next gen versions, but obviously you'll be able to play your PS4/Xbox One version in your PS5 or Xbox Series X anyway because the backwards compatibility thing.
Yes.
It seems, and what would make sense is obviously they're probably going ham to finish the ones to run on the current gen, and then I don't think they would have a date on the PS5 or Xbox Series X versions because obviously they probably have their focus on just finishing the.
Don't want to chuck it too much out there, but they did say with Cyberpunk they're not happy with the melee.
No, stop it. Stop. We're not.
I know
know
they're going to be able to fix the melee in like.
You know what
3
I
months?
just got reminded of? There was a
What?
night citywide.
I was going to segue
There
for
was.
you. I was going to segue because I can see it's not here in the show notes, and I was just like,
Because
there was a. There was a
So
thing
we're
I
done
was
talking
like-
about Halo and how hilarious
Shut up!
it is that it
We're
won't be
done!
there at launch.
Silence! Shut!
And how nobody really needs to buy an Xbox Series X.
You need to start
Are we
putting
done
some
with that?
money down, or else you're not allowed to say this shit every week. You got to start putting bets down. You reckon it's going to come out next year? Put your money where your mouth is.
No, that's probably
You're very quiet fucking now, aren't you?
He knows.
Yeah.
It's just a meme. He knows it's just a
I mean,
meme.
no
That's
one's
all.
going to buy a Series X till next year because there's nothing to play on it.
I will buy a Series X this year.
If I buy one this year, you have
Until
to pay
both
me all
Will
of it
and
back.
me are
Two.
buying a Series X this year.
If the Xbox Series X comes out this year, you have to buy one.
that's
harsh.
that's fuck yeah.
That's the best kind of punishment, I think,
That's
actually.
that's the
Yeah.
greatest kind of.
Yeah, I'm not going to say anything.
You're not gonna say it? Yeah.
Try to.
Actually, has to
Trying to
send
think
us
of your way out of it,
$15.
but you fucking can't. That's why. Yeah.
It'll sell less than the. Oh, no, that,
Oh,
that's
now he's
coming out
changing
2021
his.
too.
Now he's changing. Now he's
changing
trying
the
to
fucking
backpedal.
Yeah,
spiel.
No, I think no. I think the only thing I need them to announce it so we know what a launch lineup looks like for Xbox One for the Xbox.
It looks like Game Pass.
Series X. No,
That's
but
it.
like, what are the? Because there's got to be new stuff like out of their third party stuff.
Jeffy Grub on Twitter said a couple times that both Sony and Xbox apparently still have first party titles they haven't revealed yet.
Yeah. So
So-
I think that's. I'm still waiting on.
It's
they've
gonna
gotta
be
have something in their
Battletoads.
lineup. I hope Halo isn't the crackdown of this generation, where it just gets delayed into infinity. That would be really bad. I did see Big Daddy Phil Spencer come out and say, "Oh well, they were thinking about releasing Halo Infinite in the sections or parts," and I was like, "No, don't
So-
do that."
If you're going to do that, you might as well just scrap calling it Halo Infinite. I mean, they've obviously got the free-to-play multiplayer. You can launch that potentially day
Why
one.
is Scrap calling it Halo Infinite? If
In-
they're releasing it in
in
parts,
their-
it's got infinite parts.
I just went and found their blog post that they posted where they confirmed it's coming out in November, and their 3 key dot points of why you should buy one is more than 50 new games planned for this year across generations and optimized for Series X, including Assassin's Creed Valhalla, Dirt 5, Gears Tactics, Yakuza Like a Dragon, and Watch Dogs Legion. With smart delivery, you only have to buy these games once to play the latest version for your console across generations. Dot point 2, new games developed for Xbox Series X and launching with Xbox Game Pass include exclusive like The Medium, Scorn, Tetris Effect Connected, and more. So quickly, The Medium is actually a new game that I think is only Xbox Series X. It's like not on PC
But
either. I don't think.
aren't there all their games going to be across? No. Maybe it's just
No,
only first
some of
parties.
them you have to pay attention to the fucking things in the trailers. It gets
The buzzwords.
confusing. It gets confusing
See.
quickly. So The Medium and Scorn are 2 new games there. Tetris Effect Connected is a pseudo new game, I guess, if you want to like. It's like a
It's a
new game.
remix.
Yeah,
It's a new
remix.
version.
It's Persona 5 Royale.
Basically, yeah. And then their last dot
If you
point
compare it
is,
to the Persona 5 Royal, then
it
that's
better be very good.
it's going to be great. Then it's going to be fantastic. It'll
Yeah,
be
it's
the
going to be
better
great when it
version.
comes out on PS5 at the same time. It's
It's
a
not-
free
it-
update.
It's coming out like a year
PS4.
after, I think, is what they
Oh
said.
no, it's getting the Tomb Raider treatment.
Yes, it's getting the treatment.
It's
mo-
fine.
More than 40 popular
Who
games.
needs to play against other people in Tetris Effect?
More than 40 popular new games optimized to take full effect of the Xbox Series X, including Destiny 2, Forza Horizon 4, Gears 5, Ori and the Will of Wisp, Madden NFL 2. And then they go on a whole spiel, of course, about Xbox Game Pass again. So currently their selling point is a couple of exclusive third-party games and Game Pass library of games, which I want to bring up now. I was thinking about this on my drive to work, actually, weirdly today. I'm thinking about prices, right? So I'm doing what I do when I drive, and I'm fucking in my own world. I think the reason
Not paying attention to the road. Think in your own
Look,
box.
No,
when
I've drove
you
to my
work-
I've drove to
Wait,
my
are you
work.
telling me actually that you don't autopilot your way to work, and then sometimes
A
you're
little
like,
bit.
I autopilot
Like
the fuck
I
out.
autopilot so badly on the way to work. It's
Yeah.
probably really terrible to say that out loud.
and
But
it's
like,
mostly highway, so I'm pretty
just massively autopilot.
Mhm.
Like there's some times where I'll drive in a direction and then be like, oh fuck, I'm not supposed to be going to work. I'm supposed to be going here.
Yeah.
I've done
then
that.
I would have,
I've turned off to work and then been like, no, I'm not going to work today. Yeah, so I was autopiloting, thinking about prices for whatever reason. And yeah, it kind of clicked. I hadn't thought of this before, but it's the thing that makes the most sense, obviously, is that Xbox will probably undercut the fuck out of the PS5, and then Xbox/Microsoft will put all the eggs in the basket of saying, we will make up the money by undercutting them by basically forcing people or expecting more people will sign up for Xbox Game Pass and they'll undercut the fuck.
And they'll lose more money on that. I don't get it.
Actually,
it makes no sense.
Your brain. Actually, you know what? Actually, Hobley, I have high respect for you as a journalist and your opinions in general for most things. When it comes to Game Pass and its business equity, you have the smoothest brain going around. Like, you have like no wrinkles on your brain, like a genuine one head in terms of like. When it comes to Game Pass, fucking hell.
Can't wait for them to come out and say they're like making billions. But yeah, that's
I'm excited for that day as well, because I will have confetti cannons ready. I will fucking.
I think that's. I wouldn't be surprised if their like launch bundle, you'll be able to
comes
get
with like a month.
Comes with obviously everything just comes with like a month of Game Pass to basically dip people into the well and then
hope losing even more money, just giving it away.
Are they though? I mean, that's
you just literally said they were giving it away a month.
All console
you give away a month to then be like, hey, start paying more for more months, because
all console launches are always sold at a loss or like basically even. So no one ever tries to make money. Or I think they tried to make money on the PS3 and then that
PS3,
went very well for them.
It did so badly.
Yeah, that's so bad. But most consoles, it's well known that they sell with a loss and try to make up in games afterwards, or they sell for roughly even and just make no money on consoles and then make up elsewhere. So if they undercut with the Xbox Series X and then they include Game Pass as a way to dip in and then expect people to buy into Game Pass going onwards, that would obviously be their plan, and that's a good way for them to undercut the PS5. And I mean, I already expect the PS5 to probably be $100 dearer, and if that's how it is, like 100, 150, if that happens, I won't even blink, because that's kind of what I'm expecting at this stage.
I would agree.
Yeah, because it's no different than how Xbox and PlayStation are playing now, where PlayStation is like, yeah, we don't have an Xbox Game Pass, but we will charge you full price for our fucking games because our games are AAA blockbusters and you'll pay for them, whereas Xbox is, our games are on Game Pass, you're going to buy Game Pass. That's their obviously very different plans. So, anyway, we'll see what happens. They're going to be announcing something soon. It's fucking halfway through August. Jesus Christ. I think I've been saying that since February though. Like it's February. Oh, it's March. Oh, it's the price will be soon. So 2 wrap-up stories for this week on Warner Brothers. Firstly, Warner Brothers is apparently no longer for sale. Just quickly get this out of the way, because obviously we spent a whole bunch of time talking about it, and now it's completely defunct. So Warner Brothers, in a company-wide email, CEO of Warner Media, Jason Keller, wrote, Warner Brothers Interactive remains part of the studios and networks group, along with our global brands and franchises, blah, 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 blah. So apparently the word is that... it is worth pointing out that in the rest of the email, he goes on to talk about a whole bunch of other restructuring, several parts of their movie and TV business, even their comic business.
Yeah, I was about to say they kept this, so they fired
that's what
everybody else in every other division.
Yeah, it seems like if Warner Media needed to kind of cut costs somewhere, it happened everywhere.
No, what happened is they got a new CEO or chairman or president or whatever, and he's like, "Oh, I know how I'm going to make myself look good." Raise the profits real quick, get rid of a bunch of jobs.
Yeah. So I know it's like not all gaming related, but there are 5 key points in the email where we're elevating HBO Max and organization, expanding its scope globally, which basically means streaming services are the shit, so we should be on that shit. We're simplifying how to organize our studios. That could be any. We are creating a consolidated international unit focused on sale and efficiency. We are bringing our key commercial activities into one group to allow us to operate more strategically. We are making other structural changes that will help us operate more effectively and efficiently. All of that is a bunch of fucking keywords that make you not really understand what's going on, but that's fine. That's why it's a company-wide email, because most people don't need to know. But anyway, we spent a whole bunch of time talking about selling Warner Bros. Studios. Was afraid of it going to fucking Activision, whoever. Don't worry. Don't need to worry. In fact, get excited because we're getting two DC-related... yeah, or Microsoft. We're getting two DC-related announcements. This is out Monday, so this coming Sunday, DC Fandom... I don't know if you say...
It's Fandom.
It is Fandom, yeah. Like, I'm
There's
like,
an E at the end. So.
There is an E, but I'm like, is it a pun we're not supposed to say, or do we say the full pun? Okay, so DC Fandom is on this Sunday. It kicks off at 3 a.m. The whole event runs for 24 hours, but it basically only runs for 7 hours and then starts playing encore screenings afterwards. There are two key gaming events that we know of. There could be another one, but there's a few things in there.
Yeah, there's a couple of TBD.
Yeah, TBD
panels.
So, but I highly doubt there's more than these two gaming.
I would suspect those would be more likely
comics,
film
films
panels, maybe.
Yeah, maybe. But
so guess what? Man of Steel 2.
Maybe.
Mic drop.
I highly doubt they're going to be announcing films in a year where they can't fucking film shit.
It's in development.
So, firstly, of course, Rocksteady is doing their Suicide Squad. It didn't say the name, that type of thing. They didn't give away the name of the game in the panel yet. They just called it like...
no, you're talking about the Montreal game.
No, did they say Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League?
Yes, they did. That's what the name.
They did.
It's Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League.
Okay, so they did confirm the name. Oh yeah, I see it here. Yeah. Okay, cool. So there, they confirmed the name then. Kill Justice League. Fuck, I missed that. So that's on at 10 a.m. Sunday, Australian time. The description is, Will Arnett hosts the highly anticipated video game reveal for Rocksteady Studios, creators of Batman Arkham franchise. This will go for 20 minutes. So there's that.
Interesting Will Arnett hosting. Does that mean he's voicing somebody in the game, maybe?
I mean, what? Just because it would be weird if they had like Batman from the... That's the tie-in,
you could do
I
a
guess.
serious version.
I mean, maybe. The joke is, Kieran, that he voices Batman in the Lego Batman. Lego.
I am across this.
I'll just say, you could have confused him with Owen Wilson. I don't know what the fuck was happening.
Wrong podcast. Do not bring up my failures of...
Listen to this week's What Do You Want to Watch? It's a beauty.
But the key announcement, of course, was that Warner Brothers Games Montreal will reveal their brand new game. Theirs is one of the hot key panels up early, so it goes Wonder Woman first, but then the Montreal announcement happens at 3:30 a.m. Sunday morning. The description simply reads, "Gamers, you won't want to miss this first look at an exciting new game and Q&A with its developers." This goes for 20 minutes, so I would expect a CGI trailer, no gameplay, with developers discussing the game afterwards. They say Q&A, but it's pre-recorded, so it's like, I guess the host is asking questions.
They've already sent in cues.
Sounds like they're weaponizing gamers to me.
Yes. No, I don't think...
Gamers, come and watch this event. Free Batman.
No.
Oh, sorry. Hashtag free Batman.
Nick, I'm going to tweet Nick now. At Lord and Prior, please come on Arcade Couch soon. I can't handle the jokes being made about Apple versus Epic. It's not funny.
This seems
tweet.
like a long tweet. There was enough characters.
You want to open your fucking phone and look? I tweeted it. Look, I can type real fast.
Anybody listening to this wants to, date when we recorded this, time.
Yeah, go look at that tweet. Look at the time. It's there. See? You're like, oh, Dylan's memeing. I don't meme. That's Ash's thing on the show. I'm the serious one, and Kieran's like in between sometimes. I'm serious. Kieran's in between. Ash is nothing but fucking memes. If this is Sesame Street, I'm fucking Groucho in the can. Ash is Big Bird over there going,
Groucho. Groucho.
I don't know. What's Groucho from?
Groucho Marx.
Yeah, Marx Brothers. Yeah.
Ox the Grouch.
Shout out to Rob Zombie. Love those films. What the fuck was I talking about? Yeah, are you laughing? Yeah, because
totally derailed.
Yeah, and I see Ash's quote retweet. Like, you might as well fucking put. Look, you part of a union, Ash? Of course you're not. You fucking trash.
Yeah.
Look, if the news agents had a
Jokes union.
it'd be about making sure they had quality band-aids for the paper cuts they get from newspaper.
You want me to bring up fucking America's mail system and the union striking back on those cunts?
No, that's a serious issue that needs to be resolved.
Please, Dylan, do not fucking make jokes about that. That's some fucked up shit going on.
Hashtag free the mailmen.
100%,
Yeah.
Ashley. Yes, thank you, Ashley. Dylan, you really need to get your shit together with what kind of issues we talk about on this fucking show.
Can't believe.
This is fucking outrageous.
You're almost coming across as a Trump sympathizer.
Oh, you
know.
disgust me.
I can't believe there was a literal point where I said, should I stop doing serious topics on this show? And y'all said no. And here we are. Y'all said
we're
no,
not talking about a
Dylan.
super serious topic right at the moment.
No, Dylan.
We're not. We're circling back to make a meme out of it.
I don't know what we're talking about. So, Batman.
We're talking about probably Batman.
Yeah,
Probably Bootman.
it's Gotham's. I forgot what it's called now. Gotham something.
Gotham Knights.
Yeah, I think that was the rumor. That is the rumor.
That
Okay.
was the website domain, which was the Suicide game was Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League.com or whatever,
Mhm.
which turned out to be the proper title of the game, so we can all assume safely it's called Gotham Knights,
Look
which
forward to
implies
that.
a bunch of stuff. One,
Which-
which is going to be sent. Talk about the cyberpunk stuff?
There was Cyberpunk Night City Wire Episode 2 was released on August 10th.
Can I
looked
say
it up
that
on
was much
YouTube.
better than episode
Boom.
1?
It was pretty good. I enjoyed it. Did you watch it, Dylan? Did you enjoy it?
I didn't think there was anything worth talking about, hence why I didn't put it in there.
Well, I'm fucking. You know what? We're talking.
You're free
This
to
is an
talk about
arcade
it.
catch takeover.
We're taking over.
I mean,
Quickly talk about it.
It's
Look,
not like
I feel
you
like
can
it did.
add stories to the show before.
No,
No.
well, I only remembered mid-show, and I don't want to.
My only point, I'll let you talk. I'll let you do your whole spiel. My only point I want to make that I was going to bring up is that you know how we barely anyone's talking about this second one. You know how the first time we talked about it, Ash was like, "Oh, so disappointing," blah 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 blah, and me and Kieran were like, "It's because you fucking hyped it up in your head." Whereas this one, because it's not hyped up, he's like, "Oh yeah, it was alright, eh? It was alright.
No, because this one talked about things that will affect you in the
It was
game,
alright.
rather than show off one mechanic
It
that
was
you may or may not use
alright."
for 30 minutes, or what felt like 30 minutes.
Okay.
I do think no. I think for this is that I think it just kind of added more to the whole. Everybody knew a decent amount about the Corpo Nomad or the Street Kid starting areas and how that would affect the game a little bit. I think if you have been following Cyberpunk, you would have caught up with one of the content creators. There were many that kind of streamed the opening 4 hours of the game a couple months ago, just before the first episode of Night City Wire. I think overall the combat looks good. The guns look interesting. Looking at the melee combat, with that comment they did make about the combat not being 100% for melee, I think that might be more to do with like their katanas and their swords, because I thought the fist fighting and the like the arm spiky things looked good and looked normal. So let's hope that melee problem isn't as big a problem as people are memeing it to
It's
be.
like they need to move the decimal point somewhere.
Yeah, hopefully it's hopefully it's just an easier fix than that. Than it is we're gonna have to delay the game again. So let's hope that's not the case. Okay, Dylan, you can if you neither of you got anything else to say about it, you guys can move
No.
right along with the show.
That was it. It was alright.
I mean, it was fine. It was only a little bit better. They did have that massive section where they were talking about the making of Samurai and the music in the game.
I thought that was fascinating, but
It was fascinating, but I mean, it's not super necessary. It was more interesting than the 30-minute mind map.
it was not
section.
30 minutes.
25. Once you slow down the time to the same time in the mode, then it was 25 minutes.
I think they were. I feel like they both went roughly the same length. No, no, I think they did.
No.
No.
Well, I appreciate them showing like the obviously the 3 starters, so you know a bit more about which to choose when you jump into the game.
Episode 2 was a minute longer than episode 1.
There you go. Go on.
Cyberpunk.
Cyberpunk.
Looking forward to it in 2021 with Halo.
Shut up, Ashley.
I mean, you can say you're looking forward to it in 2021 if you mean you want to play it.
You're going to wait for it.
You're going to
and
wait
play
for it to release, and
also you're not allowed to buy consoles until 2021 either.
I actually feel like that should be a rule.
That should be a rule. Actually, probably no consoles till 2021, even if they come out this year. Ashley wants to have his cake and eat it.
Yeah,
He is
very much
Yeah,
so.
why not?
Greedy boy.
That's what this company is built on.
Very much so.
All of us having our caking in it too.
I don't know what that means. Like in the
I
context
don't know.
of Explosion Network.
Explosion Network. Yeah.
What kind of?
What
cake
is the
it?
cake?
I've never
How are we all
had
having
cake
it?
in the Explosion Network. This is fucked.
Yeah.
Where are you guys getting cake from?
Doesn't.
Coles.
I don't even eat cake. Like,
Coles! You could have thought of anyway. You thought of Coles.
wow. Anyway, on that note, you can find us on Twitter by heading to explosionnetwork.com/Twitter. Of course, you can let us know what you thought about any of the things discussed by emailing mail@explosionnetwork.com with the subject line Arcade Couch, and we will see you here next week. Same time, same couch. Bye. Hey, don't forget you can subscribe to the show wherever you're currently listening, and you can drop a review if you can. Find more great shows like this and more content over at explosionnetwork.com, and please consider supporting us for as little as $1 over on our Ko-fi page by heading to explosionnetwork.com/support. Thanks for listening.